Hi everyone, it's me. Welcome back to my channel. And today I will be doing a video all about how to stay organized in university, because if you didn't know, I'm second year in university and I'm studying psychology. So I do have quite a bit of experience with university life and this whole topic. So I thought it'd be helpful to kind of just give my tips about how to stay organized and hopefully help um, the other university students that watch my channel, if there are any, or yeah, just help out if you guys need it, because I know that even though second semester is ending for me, or whatever semester you're in, it's ending, and summer school is starting next month, so I figured that it might be a big help to share my tips, especially now. So, I wrote my top 3 tips down on my phone. So, if you see me kind of looking down, it's because I'm reading it off of my phone. Um, but yeah, without further ado, we'll just get into it. So, my first tip is to keep an agenda, um, just a regular basic agenda like this. Um, and in that agenda, write down all of your tests and assignments that you know will be coming up for that week, or even for the week after, or it really doesn't matter. It just depends, how far ahead you want to stay. Um, So like if you are a person who easily gets overwhelmed by having a lot of tasks in front of you at once, I think it'd be best to stick with planning the week ahead. But if you like to, you know, stay ahead longer than that, then I recommend 2 weeks, maybe even 3. Sometimes I like to plan 3 weeks ahead in my agenda, just so that I know what's coming up, what I can look forward to. But yeah, so like if you know that you have, a big exam on Friday, then just write in, exam and then what time, and maybe you can even write how many hours you want to spend studying, a little bit every day. I think that could help too. Or, write down whenever your essays are done and when you want to hand it in and stuff like that. So that's been one of the biggest helps for me, is keeping an agenda and writing all of my upcoming assignments and tests in the agenda. And so even if I forget, because sometimes I do because I have so many assignments, I just look at my agenda and then I remember, and then I can plan my day or my week according to what I have due. And yeah, that has been really, really helpful for me this whole year, especially during this pandemic, and last year too, but certainly this year, because it's easy to get distracted and sidetracked, especially since we're always at home. So yeah, an agenda I think would be a good starting place for any university student, regardless of what year of study you're in. So that's tip number 1. And tip number 2 is, so it's kind of connecting to my tip about the agenda. And my second tip is to plan how much time you are going to spend on each assignment, or how much time you want to spend studying per day. So, and like I said, you can write that down in your agenda. So, for example, if you have a big assignment coming up, like an exam or a final or something like that, you can break it up, break up the studying into parts. So, for example, if you plan your agenda based on the week, then you can do, say Monday, I'm going to spend 2 hours, studying. Tuesday, I'm going to spend 2 hours. Wednesday, I'm going to spend 2.5 hours, and then for the rest of the week or even for the week after. And I think that would be really helpful. It's really helped me. Um, and also, like for essays and stuff like that, you can, if there's a bunch of parts, then, you can do the same thing, but like which part you want to spend working on that day and how long. So like let's say if there's 3 parts, then you could say, okay, Monday and Tuesday I'm going to spend working on part 1, and each day I'm going to put an hour, and then Wednesday and Thursday I'm going to spend working on part 2, and so on and so on. So that again has been really helpful for me. um, I don't I haven't really been doing that so much lately, because sometimes I'll just like put it on my phone, like I'll set daily reminders. For example, um, after I go for my jog, then I'm gonna work on my editing portion of my essay. So I'll do stuff like that. Last semester, I definitely used my agenda much more in that way, but this semester, and especially coming towards the end of this semester, I've really just been, setting daily reminders on my phone to remind me to, you know, spend an hour editing my essay or working on one of my finals. Um, and yeah, you could do that too. Um, if you check your phone a lot and you're good with keeping up with phone reminders, then you can do that too, or you can use it in connection with the agenda. So you can write it down in your agenda and then also set a reminder on your phone. I have been doing that too. So even if you, let's say, misplace your agenda or forget to look at it for whatever reason, then if you check your phone a lot, you can use your phone as well. So that's been really helpful for me too. So like I said, you can use your agenda to plan the weeks ahead. You can also um, write down in your agenda how much time you want to spend on each assignment or on studying based on the day, and then work your day, work your week around that. And you can also set reminders on your phone, or even set an alarm on your phone of when you want to study or when you want to get certain parts of your homework done. That can be really helpful too, or a combination of all three of those tips. And then the last thing that I wanted to share as a tip to stay organized in university is, hold on, sorry, just reading my phone, to prioritize your assignments. So this one is a really important tip, because sometimes, especially if you're someone who can get really overwhelmed really easily, um, with like, oh my god, there's so many things to do, there's so many parts to this assignment, like I don't know where to start, it's such a big assignment. Or like if you have, let's say, a 3,000 word essay, you don't even know where to start, it seems so, so much for right now. So I think we've all been there as students, where we just have this huge assignment in front of us and we don't know, where to start. And then we also have all these other smaller assignments that are due roughly around the same time. So, it can be easy to work on the smaller assignments first and kind of forget about or push to the side the bigger assignments. So, yeah, like I said, prioritize your assignments. I think that's one of the most important things. Um, because obviously you want to get the assignments that are the biggest and worth the most done first, or at least you want to make sure they're the most polished, right? So it's all about prioritizing, and sometimes it can be so easy to just start with the smaller assignments, the easier assignments, hand them in, and then work on the bigger assignments. But um my tip is to start with the most important and the biggest assignments first, even if it's just a small part of the assignment, even if you just get, the title page done, even start there because, like I said, those are the most important assignments, and you don't want to leave the biggest assignments last because then you're going to feel even more overwhelmed. Most of the time, you're going to feel even more stuck, and we don't want to procrastinate. And sometimes it can be really easy to procrastinate, especially with big assignments. Um, but it will not help you to do that. So, like I said, start with the bigger assignments. I think it would be helpful to portion it, kind of like based on my last tip, portion out the assignment. If it's a big assignment, um, get little bits of the assignment done per day and work your way from there. Because the little assignments, the smaller assignments won't be, too challenging to complete, right? We all know that. So those can be kind of procrastinated on or kind of left to the side a little bit more than, the big assignments. So always start with the most important assignments and portion your work. So and a good tip is, this is what I, live by. Start at least in the very minimum a week in advance before the deadline. Some people even start like 2 weeks before, and that's great too. If you have the time, um, then I would recommend 2 weeks before the deadline if it's a really big assignment. But even a week, I think we can all put aside a week to kind of portion off our assignment. Um, because in the end, the longer you spend on a big assignment, the more it's going to show in your work and in your final grade for that assignment, and possibly even in that course. So don't get scared because of how big the assignment is. Just start small, but make sure you're starting with the most important assignments and then work your way down to the smaller assignments. And if you do that, I feel like that would be very helpful for you in the long run. And also, it'll help you to not procrastinate as much because, I know, like I said before, it can be very easy for students to procrastinate, and oftentimes we do. I do too, a lot of the time, but it's all about managing your time, prioritizing, and making sure you have a schedule that you work around. And if it's an even bigger help, what I also do is when I write down my assignments in my agenda, if I finish the assignment, then I tick it off. And then, okay, that's done. Now I can work on the next one or the next part of the next one, and it helps to keep you motivated to keep ticking off what you completed. At least it does for me. So, yeah, that's all that I have for you on that. And I hope it can really help someone who's possibly struggling with this or struggling to stay organized or motivated in terms of schoolwork, university, all that. And if you want a separate video on how to stay motivated in university, you can let me know, and I'll definitely make a video on that because I do have some tips for that. As I know it can be hard to stay motivated in school, especially during, a time like this. So if you want to see a video on that, let me know in the comments. Don't be afraid to reach out to me if you have any ideas or videos you might want to see. And yeah, I hope to see you in my next video. If you like this video, like it, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!